Alright, when we last left off, we had just entered the first dungeon, Helion Ruins. We're going to be playing as Sue. It's worth noting that there are some unknown factors to this game, and I encourage players to experiment, research the game, and see what they can find. We're going to talk about that in this dungeon. But let's continue on. Select Sue and mash A. Continue upright, and continue upright, and go through this door. Something to talk about with loading zones is that whatever side you, in dungeons at least, whatever side you enter them on, that's the side you'll also exit them on. Make sense? We're going to use this to save some small increments of time throughout. Another thing worth mentioning is that time does not pass on the clock, unlike Majora's Mask. Anyway, once you come in here, come across this bridge, these enemies moving around, their movements are random. But anyway, you're going to retrieve this key. Try to avoid these guys best you can. They're not going to kill you or anything like that. They're extremely weak. And they're basically no threat at all. Even if they do spot you, they just sort of do that. But sometimes they can be directly in your path, so just try to be able to react. Anyway, once you grab the key, come through the right side of this door, and we're going to scoot against this door. Notice that symbol goes away and it opens. We did not mean to go through it there. But yeah, it goes ahead. It unlocks the door while we're on our way to this door here. Come on in here. We're going to continue up here, take a left, and another slight left, and we're going to grab a gun. Oh, see, he was just in our path. That's just bad luck. So, there's something to talk about with weapons. There are a few things that affect how much damage we do to enemies. And the entire deeper understanding of these components doesn't really exist. So, thing number one is character mood. You can go to this screen and see the mood that the characters are in. The characters who look angry, they're going to have a higher attack value than the characters who look sad or happy. Like these guys and these guys. You can never play as these two. Keep that in mind. Now keep in mind that during a speedrun, right now at least, we normally never visit this menu. But if it becomes more useful to look at our mood, it could be. And there's one reason why it could become more useful. If you go down to your weapon menu, you'll notice there's a number of slots. We're going to get more weapons throughout the game, obviously. Each character has a signature weapon that they get a 1.5 times damage modifier on that particular weapon. It is not known currently which characters link up to which weapons, unfortunately. For now, we play as Sue because it always defaults to Sue in the character select screen after you go to the cutscene in Silveron Plains, in which you get her to join your party. Still, worth noting. Let's continue onward, though. Go back through this door. Cut a deep left through this door. Go upright. Continue upright. Continue upright. We're going to come around and you're going to shoot this switch. You shoot your gun with B. Now, there is another way of hitting this switch, and I'm going to talk about that now. You could, instead, come around this corner and shoot it from back here. But the angle is very, very specific. By the way, that POV mode that I'm going into, that's R. We are going to use that a few times in the run, and this is one location that it could be used in if you decide to try and shoot the switch from here. Currently, the world record run does it from this side, though. Runs around like so and shoots it. You have a 20-second timer to reach the door. So run up in this direction. Try to jump up here, cut that corner. Try to cut this corner if you can. Try not to fall like that, though. If you fall, you could make it up still and get through the door. But obviously, you're going to lose a decent amount of time. Let's give it another try. More or less, I cut the corner too deep. Much better. Try to stay towards the edge because we're going towards that exit right there. Ideally, you want to see 5 seconds on the clock as the screen fades there. We're going to go up here and then to the left. So platforming, jump across this, jump across this. Now, one thing to mention, when you do a full jump, you actually lose a little bit of speed for a moment after you land before you regain it. If you time a short hop perfectly, you won't lose any speed. And you can continue that momentum. It's a little hard to tell here. So let's zoom the camera out and take a better look. Notice, we lose speed, it stalls for just a moment. But if we time a short hop, we can continue moving. So, coming into this room, there's a switch on the left wall over here. It's going to activate some platforms that are going to allow us to jump and go over to that area over in the top right corner of this room. The best way about hitting this switch is coming to this general direction. And the reason you want to do so, and you want to do so early, is because there's a text box that triggers where the characters look over and say, hey, there's a switch on the wall. Maybe we should try to hit it. You can avoid ever triggering this text box by hitting the switch from further back. You can do this by coming to about right here in the center of this dark green square tile. From here, turn to the left. You want the switch to be almost directly in the center of Sue's head. As centered as you can get it, as quickly as you can get it. Jump, shoot. You'll hit the switch. Every time. Shoot right at the top of your jump. We're going to jump across these platforms. They have a wider gap than they look. Now this next section, if you notice, we're walking. Oh, the texture's different. If you look, you can see a seam. These are trap doors. You'll fall and void out. Doesn't cost too much time, but still it does cost some time. The way you're supposed to normally deal with this is by collecting this item here, this stopwatch. Once you use it, it freezes the obstacles in the dungeon in place. That being said, it's kind of not worth it to grab that because you can jump across this with a well-timed jump. I'll demonstrate that now in both directions. Sometimes it opens the trapdoor anyway, like so. But you can just barely make it. What happens is the trapdoor doesn't fall immediately, so typically you're going to end up landing on the edge of the trapdoor and then walking on through. But it's still going to open because you did land on it. So trying to jump across the open gap is quite difficult. Let's jump across this side and land kind of more on the edge of it. See? You gotta get as far onto the edge as you can of it. Otherwise, you're gonna end up falling into the hole. Anyway, after you get across the obstacle, you're gonna come this way and go through the door. Now, this section can get a little confusing. There are a few places in the game like this that are very maze-like. From here, in the any % run, you're gonna want to go forward and hug the right wall. After you come around the corner there, go this way, hug the left wall. And then continue straight to this dark wall back in that direction. Like so. That's our destination. Let's take a look at it quickly. But from the entrance of the room. Okay. Here we go. We're going to do it fast. Hug the right wall. Hug the left. Straight. Easy peasy. From here, hug the right wall and then continue right around the corner of this box structure. Hug this back wall. We're going to go into the right side of this door. It's very useful because it allows us to go directly across this bridge. From here, go into the left side of that door. You can just hold straight up to grab the key, turn around, back through the door. Stay on that side so you can run right across the side of this and get to this door sooner. Let me show you, though, what happens if you're not there and you try to just walk onto it. You have to take a much deeper path, and it doesn't work quite as well. So again, coming into doors on the proper side can make paths shorter in certain rooms. It's very, very worthy of noting for saving small amounts of time. Anyway, once you come out of there, come back around the corner of this box. Here we're going to take a right through the left side of this door. Straight left, this door right in front of us. You can just jump over that obstacle with 2 short hops. Cut right through this door. Oh, what's up, man? How you doing? So from here, we have a mini-boss fight. I like to come to the left and take care of this one on the left first. They do have a shield, and you can shoot around the shield, but it's a little tricky. Right there, we actually got it just because of the angle of the enemy itself. One other thing worth mentioning here is there's an item on top of this pillar. It's called Upgrade Gas. It increases your damage output for like 10 seconds. It's not really worth grabbing, but in the 100% run, this is pretty much the quickest place to get it. Because you come through the door, you can just jump straight up, kill this guy, kill that guy, move on. Coming through the door, we're about to get to the boss of Helion Ruins. This fountain, when you touch it, it heals you. Let's take a look at our character's moods. So we notice the character we're playing as, Sue, she has a face that looks like she's angry. This means her damage output is going to be high. Anyway, once you come in here, we get a cutscene where our villains are running away. They're too intimidated to get the treasure. Naturally. Whatever was in that room scared them very badly. Continue left through this door. You'll get some text boxes. Mash through. So here, we have to hit switches in a certain order. And the order is presented throughout the dungeon, but it stays the same consistently. It's not random or anything like that. So memorizing the order is a good thing. That being said, first place we go, top right. We come up here. And as soon as you come in contact with the switch, you'll get a couple of text boxes. Mash through them, jump up on it, and activate it. Continue around this circle. Do not fall in. Don't touch this switch. We're going to continue past it for now. And go to this switch up here. Jump on it, turn around. Now we're going back to the other switch. You can cut these corners as well, but it's a little tricky. Afterwards, a bridge will activate. Continue around in the direction we were going in. We're going to go across the bridge. Some text boxes will activate, and then the true boss appears. The strategy for the boss, is to hold B and just continue jumping so that we continue to damage him as much as possible. He's kind of on an elevated platform. The boss is sort of just a barrier. So text boxes, hold B, continue jumping. You can see sort of a health meter on the bottom of the screen, but it's never really too clear, if I'm being honest, exactly how that functions. Once you see the barrier fade away, the boss is dead. Jump up here, collect the crystal. And that's Helion Ruins. At the end of the ruins, you'll get some text boxes. Mash A. Mash A again once you come to the house. And then we need to sleep twice. And that's Helion Ruins.